Fuck McDonald's.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
any large corporation, fuck them, but go ahead.
True, but specifically, fuck McDonald's.
Specifically regarding the current.
Very important current shit going on, yeah.
Well, actually, potentially not that. The trying to find out like the definition of fast food, right? So I recently found out that McDonald's in the States, do you just go in there, like order a cheeseburger or whatever, and they just take one out of a cabinet and hand it to you? Is that a thing? Is that what happens?
Sometimes.
Well, first of all, I don't go inside of a McDonald's, so just go ahead and write that down.
In America, we have things that are control everything, which are called cars. And because of that, we've invented restaurants that are accessible explicitly with cars.
As a matter of fact, if not for the car access, I might not even go to a McDonald's. But they don't get like a completed one out of a cabinet, but like, how do I describe it? You gotta get them one of two ways. You're gonna get them one of two ways. One is if it's not lunch rush, right? You're ordering them like early or later in the day. They will get a patty out of like a frozen stack of them, right? And then throw them on a grill real quick, cook them up, and it takes like 30 seconds. And they shoot them out, right? However, if it is like lunch rush, they will just churn a shit ton of them out, and then they'll put them on like a heating pad. And as you come in, they just throw one on there.
Hot slide like they do at the KFC. Instead of just scooping up like a thing of fries, they just grab like a pre-made sandwich.
There's also at like rest stops.
It's like a Roy Rogers or whatever, or like Wawa, where they have a little hot bin.
Yeah, there's places too where it's like a rest stop where it's just a big like building along a highway that happens every like 10 or 15 miles, and then you go in there and they have a bunch of different fast food places, and they already have stuff pre-prepared, and it's basically like you go in there and you go to like Burger King or whatever, and they just have most of the big items like already prepared, so that you go in, you say, hey, I'll take like a double cheeseburger, I'll take like chicken fries and stuff, and they just throw it all together and give it to you.
That's wild.
Importantly, how do they do it on Grand Pulse where you live?
So it's actually wild. So being a chef, I'm hip to the sort of food safety measures that they need to do, because everything has to be made to order. Essentially, everything has to be made to order. Like some places will do, as Carl was saying, like doing a bunch of them and leaving them specifically for rest stops and that kind of stuff, right? But most restaurants they have like a whole system, and like specifically McDonald's has a whole system of like training you into here's how to cook everything fresh, like the fryers need to be going consistently because food can't sit for longer than like 15 minutes essentially. So like that stuff, things like burgers and jazz, they take like 5 to 7 minutes to make, or sort of thingo. So about everything is like cooked fresh, made fresh. Like salads are always like held like cold, and it was when someone said that they just went to a Macca's and they pulled one out of a cabinet, and it felt like it was like 30 minutes old. I was like, that seems illegal. I was like, that explains why you've always got tummy troubles, because you're getting a fish sandwich that's sitting in a cabinet for like half an hour.
Now, the fish sandwich is a little bit different. The answer that I gave you earlier was for the burger specifically. The fish sandwich is different in the way that if you go there after like 6 p.m., like if I go there at like 10 o'clock, I am going to get one that was made at 6 p.m.
That's not okay.
And I think they also fry
it's not
those,
okay
right?
in multiple ways. It's also gross. I know that like past a certain time, don't get the fish fillet, because it's just going to be like hard and brick-like, and like only the center of it is going to be edible, so you have to like pull away the outside of it because it's just like hard like a rock. So
Well, you really sold me on that. No, that sounds great.
you should come to America.
Yeah, great, excellent. No, next flight over, I'm in.
It's delicious.
I cannot stress enough that no one should come to America, because this place sucks.
Well,
Just
as
go
they say,
support your local deli, get a good ass burger, which helps fund regrowth, like Kilika.
Like
There you
Kilika.
go.
I've also been
Kilika.
thinking about trying to learn how to like make Big Mac sauce at home and just like
really
make my
easy.
own fucking shit. Yeah,
Super
like
easy.
I, I think that'll be a fun project.
You want to hear the craziest thing I'm going to drop on this podcast?
Absolutely.
We don't have a Burger King over here. Well, specifically, the state that I live in doesn't have Burger King. We call it Hungry Jack's.
They threw
Hungry
off the monarchy
Jacks.
long ago.
Yeah.
Like we
Yeah, that's incredibly
They have
basic.
Burger Parliament.
Burger democracy, baby.
Yeah, we for some reason, specifically my state that I live in, the guy who bought the rights to put Burger King in our state was a guy named Jack, and he just decided to name it after himself. That he just labeled it all
good.
Hungry Jack's. So yeah, specifically this state has. I think that this state I lived in down south as well, but like 2 of the states just have Hungry Jack's and the rest are Burger King. It's wild.
That's so good. That's sick.
That's crazy. This is the Every F and FF podcast.
What an incredible segue.
My
Happy to
name is
help.
my name is Curtis. Hello.
Hello, I'm Carl.
I'm Alex, and with us back from Final Fantasy 13 is our returning guest, StronkChonkler.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you for bringing me back.
Hello.
Also back from the future because you're still a day ahead, right?
Yeah, it is 1:42 a.m. on Monday the 8th.
They haven't fixed that problem yet.
Yeah,
Damn.
no.
No,
Damn.
recent updates. They said 2025.
I'm
but
sure
we'll
the
see.
future's gotten much better as well, so I'm excited.
Oh, it's scorching. It's scorching
Stronk's
hot
like,
here. So
do
no.
not go into the 8th. Nothing good is there. Like, oh
If
shit.
you guys can skip Monday, I recommend it. Yeah, it's.
You guys thought January 6th was bad?
Yeah, so for those who maybe don't care for Final Fantasy 13 but love 10 too, tell us about your history with Final Fantasy Stronk.
It goes all the way back to the first video game I ever played. My first ever console was a PlayStation 1, and my brother bought Final Fantasy 9. Well, got given Final Fantasy 9 and then eventually bought it. And I stand by Final Fantasy 9 is the best Final Fantasy, and I will bring that up later on as well. There is a thing that I
That
want
is
to
a
talk
fair
about.
answer. That is always a fair choice.
That's what I thought. Like, it seems to be the sort of like the safe bet to have. And from there, sort of video gaming took off for me, actually. So Final Fantasy is sort of the start of it all. And then it's just been like, I took a break for a while, but during the pandemic, I started catching, I saw the 2019 GDQ 9 run. And that sort of like sparked my, Final Fantasy is actually pretty good still, and so sort of went back and did everything, and sort of continued going with that. Started speedrunning my own Final Fantasy games, and then sort of found you guys through Mutski's chat. It was just like Toil and Curtis rocked up, and Mutt was like, we've like the podcast is sick, and I had to be like, what podcast? And it was just it was through there that we're here now.
It's funny how speedrunning brings us together.
There's like an underlying, not even underlying, there's just a current through, like a total through line through the entire series of pods that we've done. That's just like, oh yeah, speedrunning. We all do that too.
But when did you play 10-2 the first time?
I would say when the podcast started. It was
Nice.
actually
Okay.
trying to sort it out because I bought a Steam Deck. Do you guys getting a Steam Deck in Australia was both easier and harder than I expected it to be. Turns out you can just buy it through Amazon, right? But it's not like a company in Australia that sends it to you. But because I'm a consumer in Australia, the consumer rights still work, and so I'm like eligible for like warranty and customer service and all that kind of stuff. But it's not through an Australian company, so bit of a hiccup. But
I was like, have you got it running on Steam Deck all right?
no, sorry. What I did do was get a PS2 emulator and running it through that. And so I'm playing the original.
That is so smart.
And playing the original
Fuck.
PS2 version on my Steam Deck. And it's a lot of fun.
Oh my god, that's so fucking smart. I have a PS3 emulator on my Steam Deck. I don't know why I thought to go backwards, which would be much easier than the PS3 one, which doesn't run all that great. But damn, that's such a good idea.
Yeah, so I've been jamming it with that, and I can tell you right now, the PS2 version, by all accounts, slaps. It's great. Do recommend.
I enjoyed what I played of it. I really did. But
I just caught up with the pod actually on the PS2. I mentioned this before we recorded, but I just watching people, I think you and other people stream like the PS2 version, like, oh man, I think I just want to play this just to kind of make sure we have our bases covered, because it just looks and feels just a little different. Like, of course, like the models and stuff are different. Also, maybe like doing a run without the festive list.
Well, that's the thing is, I don't have the was it creature creator. Is that what it's called? I don't have that, so I don't have any of the international stuff. I'm playing on the US.
So just go ahead and equip your psychic dress sphere.
Yeah, when you said that, I was like, what do you mean? I was like, they're not floating off the ground. They're holding guns. I'm like, what?
When you get to Kilika, before you go on the boat, there is a truck, and underneath the truck, that is where you will find the psychic dress sphere.
Great, excellent. Do I need strength for that?
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
So a little bit of sequence breaking required, but worth it.
Listen, it's always worth it for psychic.
So,
but this week,
yes,
we've just finished our first, I guess, set of hotspots.
That's right.
Which will then, I guess, how this works, from what it seems like, you do like the main story quest, and then it triggers like a final like mission that completes that chapter.
Right.
So I guess if before we do this, if there's anything we missed, we should probably go back and do it. Like,
you should do it before you complete
before
the second
last week's
hotspot.
episode. I feel like
Yeah, because once you complete the second hotspot, you are thrown into Kilika, and you will be completing Kilika.
So before going to Xanarkin, we should have done everything we needed to have done.
Right. Ideally.
I will let you know now, I am not doing 100%. That is not happening.
that is the correct way to play this game, as far as I'm concerned.
You're all cowards, and you will be judged and not allowed into Valhalla, but I will remember you.
I am still trying to do
Valhalla.
100%. Ever since you told me that I didn't fully lock myself out of it because of the PR stuff, not completing it before getting to Kilika, I was like, okay, I can do this. I'll just suffer in a couple more weeks when I have to go and do all the PR in chapter 2 or whatever.
My deciding factor was listening to the first episode of this, and you guys are like, oh, there's like a Moogly you can talk to that heals you, and it's like, it has to be 100%. And I was like, I didn't do that. It's done now. I was like, I'm not going back. I think I might have been like 20 minutes into the game, and I was like, it's not happening. It's done. No.
That was also my experience. I was streaming from my PS3, which then like just took a shit and wouldn't stream anymore. And just people in my chat were just like, kept being like, oh hey, just a heads up, like go over here to grab this Moogle so that you can get 100%. And it was before I really realized all the implications of what 100% was. And I was just like, oh, that's kind of, like I don't usually mind backseating all that much, but I was just like, oh, if it's everything is just going to be you just locked yourself out of 100%, or you have to go here for what. I was like, I don't know if I want to necessarily stream that, and I don't like playing games there. And then like I just saw everything that was going on with it. I was like, shout outs to those chatters for trying to make sure that I didn't miss 100%, because that sounds like a full-time fucking job, and that's awesome that they were doing that. But also I'm just like, I also like I told brother, I didn't talk to brother or something, because I'm like, fuck this guy's creeping me out. And someone in my chat was like, oh, I think you just lost 100% from that. And I was like, well, fuck, dude. God damn it.
He does not get better in this episode, if you're wondering.
No, he does not.
So you have to like suck up to the Ronso and say that all Guado are bad.
Yeah, you gotta be like, yo, I hate those Guado.
You have to sympathize with brother.
Yeah.
Like, let him try to kiss you. Well, he's like, man, this is rough being unit in 100%.
Yeah.
the Ronto are just trying to get you to say slurs, and you're like, oh, all
You're
right.
like, oh man, this is really bad.
Yeah. Yuna's opening up like a private Discord chat with them all, being like, do not screenshot anything.
I don't like
in
that
here.
at all.
But anyway, we got our Xanakin sphere, which I guess had a bite taken out of it, right?
Yeah, we got like half of one, yeah.
So we do it the lower half or the upper half of the video?
I mean, of the video, yeah.
Was there anything on it? I forget.
I don't think we could watch
Yeah, you
anything
couldn't
with
play
it,
it,
right?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I can't watch it, yeah.
You need to get another
Right.
fragment. I think it's a sphere fragment. I think you need to get to put it back together.
Yeah.
It's like if you get a VHS tape and the tape is not inside of it, so you got to re
Yeah, they
roll
just,
it
they just
through
have a
and all
pen
that.
in the back of the sphere, and they're just rolling it back. To,
Yeah,
to roll back
exactly.
the tape.
But we were sent to Kilika because there's some hot shit happening down here, I guess, right?
Indeed. And Kilika's like looking mighty fine now.
It's looking great.
Is this the one where they're talking about there's an awesome sphere over there?
Everyone
yes.
in Kilika's talking about the awesome sphere.
And Yuna's like, I want that sphere.
Yeah, she does. She says it just like that too. I want that sphere.
She's got to eat it. It's funny that everyone's just like so hungry for the spheres, even though they're just kind of vaguely like Like we don't even know what's on it.
Yeah,
we're all just
yeah.
like, oh, I want that one.
It's
Well, I
like
guess there's,
anyone
like-
with a metal detector on the beach. It's like it's probably going to be fucking trash. It's going to be all bottle caps and stuff, but it might be something cool.
Yeah, it's like I guess like everybody is like calling it the Awesome Sphere, and it's like found in the temple area. So like, okay, maybe it has something to do with like, you know, the history of Spira or whatever. But
Odds are pretty good that it is in fact awesome.
yeah, and everybody in town like,
Or maybe because Yevon owns it, they're using it awesome in a different kind of sense.
Yeah, it's awe inspiring. That's the reason.
yeah, I'm inspired, but I feel like there's one kid in the entire town of Kilika who's above all of it, who if you talk to them, they say, I have a red balloon. And I was like, you know what? You do have a red balloon, and I'm all about that for you.
I actually now I'm like wondering like if you didn't. Oh, I guess there's no way to do it. But like is that the kid from Luca?
Yeah. Can't be the same balloon.
It'd be funny if you just like if you didn't do the Luca mission, just like
Yeah, that
I
kid
wish I had a red
doesn't have
balloon.
the
I wish I
balloon.
had a red balloon, if only.
We've spoken about just the fact that there's just a lame, like just a concerning amount of chests floating around. There's just so much stuff in Kilika.
Yeah.
Yeah, after they rebuilt, they just had resources to just give away.
Oh yeah. So when we open up, we do get a cutscene, of course, narrating, telling us what's happened since the end of 10. And as we remember, we haven't really got to see Kilika because when we went there last time, it was completely blown apart by Sin.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to.
Yuna started dancing.
Yeah, that shit was weird.
She started popping and locking.
Sad, cool, but weird.
That was the first time that we saw Yuna do ascending, right?
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah, really, really kick-ass cutscene. I also think that someone, if they haven't already, should make a little chibi version. Perhaps the model of Yuna from World of Final Fantasy with that one song going where doing the kicks and then doing the break dancing like that. The meme of the little guy doing that.
We're having Orin look over her.
When people die, Yuna dances, just fucking break dancing.
Can you guess where this is? It's Kilika Port. The Youth League helped rebuild it. Now it's a bustling town. At the time, everyone was grateful, but lately, well, there have been signs of trouble. It seems that tension is building between the Youth League and New Yevon.
And here we are. And it looks great. They put all the houses back together. It's a little bit more tight than it looks like it was last time. It's like a bunch of interconnected wooden walkways in between the houses. It's pretty cool. It's kind of like...
It's nice seeing a new screen.
Yeah.
It seems a little more makeshift as well, but in a good way. It's like it's not as like laid out like properly. They definitely gave it the feeling of like, oh yeah, this was rebuilt, and they kind of built as they went along, and like you said, Curtis, like interconnected more and has like paths like leading to other sides of it and stuff. But like not
it feels like a Minecraft server that you started with your friends, and all your
Yeah,
houses are close
yeah.
together, and you build walkways to each other's houses.
exactly.
I do like the canal that runs through the center of it. It's kind of nice.
It's very nice. I like that a lot.
I'm sure that's very useful for transporting things along.
Yeah, eventually we'll actually be able to take a ferry down there, I believe.
Oh, neat.
Oh, nice.
I don't think we can right now, but later we can.
We should be able to take one of those cool water jet ski things from Bavel.
Oh, yeah.
That's the Wave Racer minigame finally coming in.
Oh yeah, if we do the 100%, we get to escape Kilika with Titus on the wave, on the jet ski
Like-
behind us.
End of it, Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
Give us Final Fantasy X-2 remake
Yeah.
Yo, hell yeah, that would be
In the RE engine.
in the RE.
make it worse to get 100% though. Especially like if we talk about a mini game upcoming, that would be really good in the RE4 engine.
Do we see Toby's band here, or is that only if you hadn't talked to him before?
I did not see Tobley's band.
I also did not.
So I was catching up because, which meant I skipped some of the 100% things just to kind of catch up. And if you haven't talked to Toby yet, he will show up here.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's like, hey, Sphere Hunters, a fantastic show is nearly upon us. I'm Toby, the sponsor of the show. That's me. And that's kind of like our introduction to the band,
Okay.
if we haven't met them prior.
Interesting.
Interesting. I wonder if that probably leads to something that we'll get to in this episode as well that you can do. But it doesn't count for 100% because you didn't hear all the voice lines or something before, something like that. Man, this game.
This game's really trying to not give you 100%.
In case we didn't do the whole like weird Moonflow thing and shaving the shoe puff and things like that.
Yeah.
Just make sure we know who Toobly was before the end of this chapter.
I definitely, when you said shaving the shoe puff, I was like, I didn't do that. I was like, what? I was like, oh, no, save it. No, it's all right. No, we're good. We're set. We're fine.
There are also some people in town who are talking about the leader of the youth league showing up. So they're like, oh man, have you heard? He's like on his way. He's going to be here. They're getting ready to start something.
Nooj. If we paid attention a few episodes ago, I think his name's Nooj, right?
Nooj, indeed.
We were trying to meet with him and he was away, or said he was away.
Right. And who knows, maybe he was coming here. But importantly, because all of the Kilikas now divided between the Youth League and New Yevon, right? We see some characters who we knew from Final Fantasy X who are having a similar kind of a split up right now.
Oh,
yeah.
I love hot dogs and characters who dress like hot dogs.
Yeah.
But yeah, we go up to one of the houses and it's Donna's house, right? So, which for those of you who didn't hear our Final Fantasy X podcast, the joke is that she looks like she's wearing a hot dog bun for an outfit. Teehee. But yeah, Bartandalus? That's not his name.
Oh my god, no.
Whoa.
13th back, baby. Let's go.
Holy shit. Whoa, that ain't right.
So we start the game and Lightning's going to get on a train. And
Yeah. So, Barthelo. Whoa.
You see him
yes.
getting kicked out of his hut, I guess, right?
Yeah, Barthelo's
potentially,
getting kicked out of his
as I
hut.
said, the greatest face. I'm going to post in the chat right now.
Oh yeah, dude. He looks so
It's
good. What a
so
fucking
good.
king.
No notes.
He looks like in the PS2 version, he looks like the fucking jacked guy from Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yeah.
What was
yeah.
that dude's name?
I forget.
The guy with sunglasses guy. It was like Tojiro or something, right? Toguro.
That sounds
Toguro.
Toguro.
He's got like the same fucking like curled up lip, like looking tough as hell.
Looking tough as hell, but at the same time also acting pitiful as hell.
Also,
Because, yeah, he is getting kicked out.
This feels like there should be like a laugh track, like on Married with Children-esque.
No, Peg.
Because all we hear from inside the shack, because Bart just got kind of booted out of from inside, and he's just like, Donna.
Yeah, all he can say is Donna.
So Donna is saying, my, fine, have it your way. Donna, go on, leave.
She said the Burger King line, have it your way.
Donna.
Usually when he says Donna enough times it works, but not today.
Yeah.
It's one of like 5 words that this dude knows.
But yeah, so like the gang goes inside the house, right? They find out what's going on.
He runs away, and it's funny because like during the cutscene, Pain and Riku like went behind Yuna, so he just like was barreling through really fast in like the weird, uncanny like in-game engine cutscene. So he's running through, and like Pain and Riku were in his way, and they just were standing completely still, and they had to get like nudged out of the way by his model as he ran.
But yeah,
so
so the gang goes inside. They see Donna. We learned that like I think Donna's part of the Youth League and Barthelo's part of New Yevon, and so they're having this like disagreement between them, and she has kicked them out of the house, right? So get out of here. So like more power to her, right? But yeah. So Yuna and gang try to kind of like, oh, is there anything we can do to help or whatever? And Donna, like in her style, like she was in Final Fantasy X, is like, butt out, get the hell out, and like throws us out. So and that's pretty much it. Like if we try to talk to her after that, she literally just says, "There's the door, use it."
Yeah, she says some other
delightful.
stuff, but it's like she will always end it with like, she's like, "This is none of your business. Like, there's the door, use it." So
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
There is an NPC that I really like. The cut of her jib. She's like an older woman. And if you talk to her, she says, "There's more important things in life than spheres. I can tell you that."
She
and then
means
she says,
cubes.
yeah. Well, she says specifically, like fishing, I could sure use a nice fish. I like to think she's putting on the hat that's just like, men want me, fish fear me. Let any fish who meets my gaze learn the true meaning of fear, for I am the harbinger of death.
On the back of her boat is just like a tire with a cover on it that says, "I'd rather be fishing." I'm like, that's
Hell
yeah.
that's what she wants. Did we talk about why Donna and Bartello are arguing? Because one of
they're
them's,
on
one of them's
different,
in the youth league and one of them's in New Yemen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So not just the town is divided, not just all of Spira is kind of divided, but the lovers as well. The ultimate power couple, the couple goals, are having a fight.
I guess Bart is very like traditional, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, it makes sense. I feel like, I mean, he was in service of a high summoner, so aside from
Her.
like just being
her.
like, but like I would imagine that means he's a pretty devout religious type, and it helped that he was also in love with his high summoner.
Yeah, maybe it like makes more sense actually that Donna would be on the youth league side, where like she had the ability to become even more disillusioned by it, being like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. I also just stand by the fact that Bartello is just himbo excellence. Like, he's just like, even if he was told everything explicitly that like Yevon had done and stuff, he'd be like, yeah, but I mean, it's, that's my beliefs. I don't know. Like, he doesn't put too much thought beyond like, well, this is how it is.
So true. What a king.
There are monkeys around.
There are in fact monkeys around.
We get their names finally. We know what they're explicitly called in this. They're called squatter monkeys because they're always afraid and trying to hide, so they're always squatting.
Thought it was because they were always pooping.
That's why I squat, really.
Same.
A note from last time. Someone pointed out that the translation in Japanese, the monkey clue makes more sense.
Oh yeah,
because
yeah.
In monkey is Saru, right?
Yeah.
So when they say what is the password, you say is Saru? Like it's like Saru and Saru is like a double pun. So like
there's another thing I'm interested to look into the translation about in today's episode with just like the password, because it's in English. We have to learn some passwords coming up in a little bit that we'll get to, but it's like two words that are very close to one another, and I would love to know what the Japanese version of it is.
Okay,
that's a good question. I should have done my homework.
There is a woman here who's mentioning to let her know if you find any other squatter monkeys in the woods, which I don't think we have to do anything with today, but
not today.
I'm assuming that's going to come back, much like the fucking monkeys that we've already run into in Zanarkand.
There's actually a couple things in Kilika that we might want to like just make note of and not really have to worry about right now, including the monkeys and the lady who's like, oh yeah, let me know if you see any monkeys in the woods. But also we see a boat that we can get on, and there's like a cameraman interviewing some lady, and in behind them they're like, oh, we're building a new headquarters. I think it's a youth league headquarters. Is that right? Yeah, a new youth league base is being put up in the background, and we can talk to the cameraman, and he'll actually like let us look through the camera lens at that base they're putting up. Yeah. And you can't do anything with it right now, but we just put a pin in that for later too, because that will come back.
They're building it on a coral reef, right?
Right.
And it's kind of like it's sort of like City of the Ancients, kind of like giant seashell, except it's a giant
it does.
thing of
it
coral
has that vibe
just in the
to it.
distance. It's there's a lot of really good items around here as well. Like there's a light curtain, star curtain, mirror curtain, or whatever the fuck it's called.
See, I don't be using those in this game.
I'm thinking about it in Final Fantasy X, where I'm like, oh, this would actually. I was like, they're gearing me up for a really tough battle where I will need to use all of these things, and then I have not needed to use it since.
I know I say this a lot, and we've talked about how like the battle system in this game is very good. It's kind of like one of the best versions of the ATB system, and it moves very quickly.
Yeah,
to its benefit, but that also means that like status items, their usage is much less, right? Like they don't get as good usage because like the status that they confer onto you is over so quickly that it hardly like makes a dent in the battle. So I don't find myself using like any status buffs or debuffs in this game because they're just gone so fast.
As soon as I got it, I was like, this might be something that they use in the speed run if it's faster to pick it up and watch the animation and stuff. There is a nice chest, though, that I really liked the implications of it, of where it's placed, where in Donna's house, if you go upstairs, you just end up like on her roof.
Yeah.
And there's just a chest there, and you can open it up, and it has 1,500 gil in it.
Yeah, we're robbing it.
So I'm just like, nice. I'm robbing Donna, and honestly, she fucking deserves it for all the shit she did in Final Fantasy X. So
she told us to go. She told us to. She showed us the door. We went through the door. We found 1,500 gil.
She didn't specify which door. She did say to use it.
That's fair. No,
What are you gonna do?
the law of Spira states that if you find a chest through a door, and they told you to go through the door, it's on them.
Yeah, I also am firmly in the camp of like, this is Yuna, the High Summoner who fucking killed Sin and gave us the Eternal Calm. As far as I'm concerned, everything belongs to her.
Speaking of status ailments, it was the first time that I got poisoned in this game. Pain got poisoned. And I did realize that poison persists through battle. So I did have to actually... use an antidote. But yeah, that was like, through the battle, it was not dealing enough to like warrant spending a turn of someone to remove it.
Yeah, especially if you get like, if you level up and get like Asuna.
So yeah, I think, is there anything else we want to talk about in Kilika proper? Because there is there's a large gate at the north of the city, and that's where we'll be exiting through into the forest. So do we want to talk about anything else in town?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. So yeah, so there's a gate up north. It is being guarded by the Youth League guards, and that'll become important that it's Youth League controlled later. But the gate opens for us. The guards say like, "Hey, Maven Nooj is here. He's getting ready to address people. So come on through and see what he has to say. Get in there and listen to his speech." So we walk through the gate, and I like that there's a point here where the party's like, holy crap, look at all these people. And it shows us as many people as like could be rendered at once on the PS2, which is like 9 of them. And they're like, oh, well, what a crowd. Like, crazy.
It's like Luca all over again, yeah.
Yeah,
I like that they keep using different angles and different like panning
to
make it look
feel
bigger,
like
but
there's a
it's
lot
just
more
the
people.
same 3 people, and you're like, oh.
Yeah. But we do see Maven Nooj for the first time, and he is a interesting looking character. I will say
He
that.
looks cool as hell, honestly. I'm gonna be honest.
I don't know enough about the inspiration for Nooj to be able to say this with like certainty, but my like alarm, like my panic alarm, white boy dreadlocks went off, and I was like, white boy dreadlocks. And I was like, I don't know, like
It's like mullet white boy dreadlocks because
He
it's
doesn't
like
look very white to me, honestly.
that's the thing is I don't know that he's a white guy, so like maybe it's cool.
But
Maybe it's
also
cool.
the dreadlocks are like only in the mullet because it's like he's got like long dreads that kind of he can put up a little bit,
man.
and then he's got like emo hair in the front. So that's
Yeah,
like
he
a
has
new
emo hair
level
in
of
the
white
front.
boy that we
Incredible.
have never been able to foresee or possibly wrangle in either.
Everybody in this game, or not everybody, I suppose specifically Nooj and Yuna both, are able to like get some good like thickness out of their hair growing out of one tiny little spot. Frankly, I'm jealous.
They've had 2 years to do it. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, but I could grow a like, a 2-inch by 2-inch spot out on my hair for years, but it's never going to be thick. It'll just be long.
You know this guy is good news too, because if you look at just his model and also the way that his hair is, it's extremely reminiscent of Seymour. Just how like angular and pointy some of it is. And,
It's
like,
huge.
yeah.
I was going to say he really leans into the asymmetrical look because he's got the shoulder pads that are different. His legs are different as well. He's really
He
leaning
is
in.
asymmetrical as hell.
Yeah.
He has a prosthetic leg.
Yes.
He does. I actually like that about it. I think it's cool that he has a
Yeah,
prosthetic
really cool. He's
leg,
got a kick-ass
like
cane as well.
Yeah.
He's part Machina.
Yeah, that's cool. The main chunk of his outfit is a large red onesie.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, which
That's
is really
cool.
nice. It's like a kind of like Cloud's like sweater, but if it extended all the way down the legs and was a onesie. We can imagine he's wearing some cool shoes, but we can imagine that they also have feet attached to that to the pants there.
at the bottom.
He
Yeah,
also
they're like
one of
feetsies in
his
it.
he's got a pauldron on one arm, and then on the other arm he just has a cool fucking it's like a if Lulu like was wearing sleeves, she would wear this. It's like fur on the shoulder and then like a purple sleeve all the way down that looks cool as hell.
He also, I will say, because like when I see somebody wearing a like giant all over onesie, my mind immediately goes to like, oh no, how many minutes will it take to use the bathroom? But he does have a zipper right up front, so like not long. He's got it covered.
He's a man who thinks ahead. He's got his priorities.
Unless he has to poop, but maybe the zipper goes around back too. I'm not sure.
True. Yeah, it just goes all the way around.
Yeah, just all the way around. It just
Those Spider-Man onesies really evolved.
divides the suit in half entirely. Yeah, he puts it on. He puts on the left and the right side, and then zips it up around himself.
Also, hella belts.
Hella belts. We are in like primo belt
He's
era
got
right
like
now.
the male Lulu. The male Lulu look a little
And
bit.
I wish I was in my belt era, honestly. That looks sick.
You could be.
Same.
You just gotta start belting it up.
Yeah, just start buying some belts.
I wear a lot of belts. That's so many belts.
Tommy Wiseau's got you beat.
Also, is his arm also prosthetic? His left arm.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. It looks like he in the concept art. It kind of looks like he has either just like a really kick-ass gauntlet and kind of like
It looks kind of
Vincent Valentine, which I think Vincent's is also like a prosthetic, but can't really tell in the game model.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
I like his shoes a lot though.
No, his shoes are fucking sick.
They're pretty sick. He's got glasses.
According to the
Prosthetic arm
Final
and
Fantasy
leg.
fandom, yeah, his left arm and leg were previously destroyed in a battle with Sin and are replaced with Machina prosthetics.
Can I make a quick request? A quick request. Sure. If you are listening to the podcast right now, and for some reason you have not ever played or seen Final Fantasy X-2, okay? And you don't know what Nooj looks like, do not look him up, okay? Draw what you think he looks like from our explanation, and then like add us on Twitter or post it in the Discord. Just like listen to our like physical description of what he looks like, and then draw it, and then like see what it could possibly look like. Because we have said a lot of things about this man,
And none of it is
all of them
untrue as
true.
well. Like that's the thing.
But Nooj is giving a rousing speech to the troops, right?
Greetings, friends. An important sphere is hidden in Kilika Temple, a sphere documenting the true history of Spira. We are here today to demand that New Yevon make the contents of that sphere public.
You are the people of Spira. You deserve to see it. They are keeping it from you. So like he's like rousing a little bit of issue, right? He's kind of like trying to hype people up to like it's oh my god, he's trying to January 6th the temple.
I also thought that as
I was like, I don't know if that's funny or not. Alex can cut that if he wants. It's fine. But
it's listen,
being-
everyone's
yes.
thinking it. We're just saying it.
we're just saying it. Yeah, it's true, but he shouldn't say it. But yeah, he's rabble rousing a little bit. But I do like that. Like at the end of his little speech, where he's like, "Okay, we're gonna bust in there and take it. We're gonna get the sphere because you all deserve it. Whatever." He does turn around right before he like walks out into the forest and goes, "But be gentle. Our opponents aren't as young as they used to be." And everybody's like, and I was like, "Nooj, get him. You know what, King? Go off."
There was a person in Kilika that said if I were just a little younger, I'd have joined the Youth League. So clearly the Youth League isn't an ironic name. It's literally just you have to be a certain age to get into the Youth League.
Yeah, it seems like they're a little ageist.
Yeah.
Because, like I don't know. Also, how old is Nooj? Because he does not look particularly young. You know what I mean? And by that, I mean Final Fantasy young.
In JRPGs, he could be like 18, you know?
True. I was going to say, he could be 32, so he looks ancient, as is the tradition in Final Fantasy.
It wasn't like Auron like 32.
21 says the page. I sent you.
21.
Yeah, Auron probably was 32. That's what I get Auron vibes from this guy.
21.
Nooj is
18 wasn't far
21.
off.
21, man. Well, listen, he was fighting Sin. You know, that shit ages you.
Yeah, that's right. Nooj is
Try
a
looking
hard
at-
21.
Auron was 35.
21.
Still find Auron to be way older. Yeah, Auron is 35, so
Yeah.
a couple years
Okay.
older than Sid.
God, could you imagine being 35?
And 1 year
Oh.
older than me, so...
In fact, I can. Or could at one point even. Yeah. So Also, yeah, we did learn that he was a crusader too. Yeah, you're right. So he did fight Sin. Yeah, I'm thinking about that now.
Ex-Crusader.
What vibe do you all get from Nooj in general? I'm kind of curious what everybody's like reading of this man is. I think I like him, but he's like clearly a little problematic. I don't know. He's like
I can fix him. I don't know. I can fix him.
As someone who's watched a lot of like Star Wars, I'm getting like kind of Saw Gerrera, the kind of extremist who's kind of like was kind of fucked over a bit too much and maybe is like maybe acts a little too rashly. And also it kind of mirrors the prosthetic thing too.
He's got a little bit of like
it's the kind of thing where it's hard to like look at it as like, okay, well, what if I was in this situation? Because they're definitely like kind of explicitly doing like the both sides thing at this point in the game. Like you'll talk to people in town and they'll kind of like talk about how it seems like, you know, tensions are running high between Youth League and New Yevon. And obviously I have a bias against New Yevon just because it's Yevon, even though they're like, they changed or whatever. But it's the kind of thing where I can definitely feel like the video game thing of like, what if both sides bad?
Yeah,
like,
what if both sides bad? They both kind of, I don't mean to like, I'm not going to drop this in any kind of like light way, but they both have a little bit of like a fashy vibe to them.
Yeah, there's definitely some fash
like,
shit on both sides of this.
Barrel Eye and Nooj both, I think. To where like even if I want to like either of them, I'm just like I'm
heavily sus of both.
which is why the true heroes of the game are the Gullwings, the anarchists. So,
of course, yeah. They're just about having fun. They're about partying. They're about getting spheres.
Yeah, yo.
And did I mention they're about having fun?
Forsake God and country, get spheres.
They just collect VHSs like you, Carl.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So into the forest we go.
Nooj also has glasses, by the way, which you'll have to incorporate into your drawings of him.
Yes. I want that for someone. I don't know that there's a person out there who's listening to us who hasn't seen what Nooj looks like. But like, I want that for us. I want that for everyone.
To be fair, I did listen to your 4 season and 10 season without ever having played the games. So and 7 season actually without ever really playing them. So if you'd asked me back then, I probably would have. It wouldn't have been good, but I would have.
Did you play 4 yet?
Yes, 4's done, 10's done. Still haven't beat 7.
4 is good. That's a good game.
Ninny's asked me to beat Final Fantasy X, and I had like 2 days off, and I beat it in 2 days. And I was like,
nice. Wow.
All right.
How many times did you have to watch the cutscene before Seymour Flux?
Seymour Flux wasn't too bad. It was Unalesca that got me, and that's also a really long cutscene.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm glad that this game lets you skip cutscenes. Not that I've really had to utilize that too much, but it is helpful.
You're skipping cutscenes?
No. I think in some situations that it might actually lock you out 100%. I could be wrong about that. I'm probably wrong about that, but better to be safe than sorry.
Better to be safe than sorrow, because we're in the Kilika Forest
zone.
I appreciate that a lot.
Is that good?
That was well done.
That was
good.
a good
I liked
transition.
That was good.
Yeah, put that out. Like, I'm gonna like get out.
Sorry.
I'm gonna go to my little board where I put like good segues that I've done, and there's only like 4 marks on there. I'm like drawing the one cross tally. That's 5 good ones the entire time.
Things Strunk approves of. Well, there's only a couple there, I guess.
There's an important line that we skipped over, and it's going to come back in a big way.
Okay.
As the Youth League goes to, quote unquote, not overdo it with their opponents in New Yevon, Yuna says, "Oh, not exactly what I expected," and Riku says, "Hey, that's our sphere. Oh, poopy."
She does say, "Oh, poopy."
So they all look kind of like dejected, and Riku's like, "Oh, so do we just give up now?" And then Yuna's like, "Nah, dude, that sphere is ours. Like, I say we decide who has it, who it belongs to."
Yeah, she does a really cool like stand and point.
Yeah,
really action packed.
Yeah, and then they all high five, and we get the mission time, which is awesome sphere heist. Which says,
we mentioned that like on our way here, we do get a little bit of more of this kind of like giddy Yuna vibe, because like on their way to the gate, they're like, "I wonder what's in that sphere. I bet it's really good." And, like,
I
just,
bet
like,
it's
getting,
awesome.
Like, really...
I've heard it's awesome.
They're just getting real high. Yeah, of course, Weaver is awesome.
Gabbo, Gabbo, Gabbo.
Gabbo.
It's about some guy named Gabbo. But yeah, break through the checkpoints in the woods and at the temple steps. Once you're in, acquire the sphere that New Yevon's been hiding in the temple. Objective: capture the awesome sphere.
But sadly, we cannot just walk right up to the temple.
You cannot. One does not simply walk into Kilika Temple.
Indeed, you do not. I guess we did in 10, but not in 10-2.
That was kind of the whole purpose, was walking there.
Yeah.
That's kind of its main feature.
But now it's literally being like blocked by armed guards, right? And like members of the Youth League are like meeting them at checkpoints.
And members of the J6 committee are trying to fight the guards to get in there.
But yeah. So like, there's people from the Youth League standing off against New Yevonites at these like checkpoints in various places in the forest, and they're like impeding progress, right? So we can't just take like any of the normal paths through the forest to get there, or else like we're blocked by people arguing or fighting, or in some cases gunshots. Like soldiers will shoot at your feet and be like, "You cannot come this way," and then you and the team double back and turn around.
Yeah, there's also, interestingly, at least like the guards right at the front who are like keeping out most of the Youth League on like the bridge. There seems to be like they don't know what the Youth League is going on about. They're like, "What are you guys talking about? What do you mean like this sphere? Like we're not." Like I genuinely got the vibe that they might not have any idea of like what is actually going on, if anything actually is going
it's hard
on.
to say.
If there is a cover up like the Youth League believes.
And that's another thing about it too, is that like when Nooj goes on about like, oh, they're hiding the truth from you, like we're not really certain that that's entirely true. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're not like that's an angle for sure. But
yeah, like you can make that argument, but
yeah. So it's up to us to find a different way through, right? And we do that in the way of observing. I
like it. I'm here for it.
Of observing the squatter monkeys, right? Because they are taking treetop paths, and so
what?
Oh, what? I didn't do that at all.
I did not know that at all. I just ran around. I just looked at the mini map and fucking I trust you. I think you're right, but I did not. I did not realize that at all.
No, I just like went forward, and then like obviously the guards like.
There are
they tell you
noises,
no.
I think, as well,
yeah,
Curtis.
There's a point where like you run to the left, and as you're running, there's a small pause, and you see a monkey run by, and like one of the characters has like a question mark pop up or whatever, and then like you turn around and take that path through the middle of the trees.
I have a recording of this. I'll see if I can find it.
I did not notice that at all. Holy shit, that's so cool. Yeah, I just kind of like. I like walked up and saw soldiers and I was like, well, can't go that way. And then there's this path that's clearly.
Am I thinking of 10?
No, I think you might be right. Like
I think that maybe that could be just if we go the wrong direction, it'll kind of like
nudge us in the
right direction. Because I just like immediately went around the blockade.
Nudge us in the right direction.
I don't think it was a monkey, Curtis. I think it was a person.
Oh, a person running through there. Okay.
Yeah, there's like
was it Syndicate perhaps? Lagoon?
Nah, I didn't see any syndicates.
When you go across to the left and the camera changes and you've got like Yuna and the party going left and you've got like the treetop at the top, there's like a person running towards the top. I didn't think it was
there's
monkey,
a person running above the treetops. Okay, all right. I mean, what is a person
cool.
but
a monkey?
Yeah,
a monkey.
sort of like the like the natural way of being like, hey, maybe you guys should go in this direction.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And my dumbass just did not see that at all. And I was just like, well, it's a video game. There's only 5 paths I can take, and most of them are blocked off.
Yeah, there really is only like one option here. It's true.
I guess I remember that small path. Like, I don't know why. Maybe it's just my gamer brain always tries to take the least trodden path first to see like, maybe there's a secret down here, and it doesn't it ended up just being like a shortcut.
Yeah.
Right.
I think because there are guards kind of, scattered around the map that maybe block you. We're like, hey, you can't come through here or whatever.
Yeah.
Not without the password.
Yeah. And eventually we do reach a just like a dead end that has like a bunch of like overgrowth cutting off the rest of the path. And we get a prompt that says, you hear voices through the trees. Want to see what's going on? And you can do just a little peek or I'm not interested.
Yeah, just a little peek.
But yeah, when you do just a little peek, we see like a save sphere, and a bunch of soldiers, and it's the classic video game thing of like, what do you mean you forgot the password again? How many times do I got to tell you this is the password? I'm gonna shout it out loud when there's insurrectionists like coming at us like
the
from all sides.
password is Monkey. How could you forget?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, they say the guy does say that the soldiers are hopeless, and then they say, "Sir, I am hopeless, sir." But he says the number of guards if the number of guards at a checkpoint is odd, then the password is carved monkey, and they say understood, and then you can keep listening, or you can just be like, nah, that's enough. But if you keep listening, another soldier runs down where it was like 3 and now it's 4, and they says if the number of guards at the checkpoint is even, the password is craven monkey.
Oh.
And he says, yeah, if you guys forget it again, I'll feed you to the blasted monkeys.
Did anyone get into any encounters in this area?
Yeah, there's some interesting...
A couple, and I blew them away.
Yeah, same.
I have a great encounter where I met a stalwart, which is like the big shielded sort of, looks like a big...
Oh,
behemoth
yeah,
with
yeah.
This is like the Calm Lands like enemy from Final Fantasy X.
Yeah,
where,
like
I saw that, I was like, oh, fuck.
the big boy, like the big boy with the spikes on his shoulder pads and on his pauldrons, and going like all the way down. But like you beat it really quickly anyway, because following the podcast, I leveled a black mage up quite quickly, and so yeah. Like just shot it in one go. But more importantly, at the end, when the fight finishes, Yuna exclaims "duck soup" and Payne's like "duck what?" and it just goes to like the reward screen, and I was like, "You're not going to elaborate on that?" I was like, "What do you mean?"
That's so good. I don't know what that means. Yeah, for my fight with that, I had just unlocked armor break with Payne, so I had Payne and Yuna as like warriors, and Yuna was doing power break and Payne was doing armor break, and then with Riku I just did scan to like get the information about it, and took care of it relatively easily. It's a fiend encased in thick armor. Its strength, defense, and other attributes are all formidable. It can't be having much fun with that armor weighing it down.
I like the scans in this game. They're really cool.
But yeah, it's not immune to a power or armor break, so that made things much easier. This was a pretty easy encounter because of that.
Apparently, duck soup is a old timey phrasing if something is like really easy.
Okay.
Interesting.
Well, that's very
Okay.
cool. I need to start saying
The
that.
expression gained currency as the title of a hilarious popular movie by the Marx Brothers in 1933. So it's a very old timey.
Nice. I do like that Yuna has real grandma energy. Like she's coming out of her shell a lot, but she's still got that in her where she's like, oh, this is going to be such an epic thing to say at the end of killing this giant monster. And it's like, what? How old are you?
Now this was epic.
She was homeschooled and watching like really old VHSs from like the library.
Yeah.
And she, like,
Yeah.
That's why she's a sphere hunter. She's seen so many spheres growing up, like all the old school stuff. She really wants to relive it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to remember so many passwords anytime I'm getting a VHS tape from Goodwill.
I like that there's a few NPCs on a side path who are like trying to remember the password.
Yeah, I saw that.
And one of them was like, Youth League password was what? Squirter monkey?
They do
okay.
say squirter monkey.
I was wondering about that
Like,
because
wait, I thought the password was squatter monkey.
yeah, which is funny. I didn't get that dialogue between those NPCs, but when you get to the actual like soldiers, that is in the list of answers that you can respond with.
To marry a Hypello.
It's never squirter monkey. Not here, not
unfortunately,
any time in your
cowards.
life.
The password is never squirter monkey.
It is never squirter monkey. Do not let me catch you.
That would be a very strong password, I think.
That should be the password to get into our Discord. But yeah, we make our way to where like this all these soldiers are who ask for the password, and the first I think has 4, so you got to go with whichever one it is. And it's essentially like you answer the question, you go up, and then there's a different number of soldiers.
There's a save sphere here if you want to make sure you don't fuck it up, because there's a lot of opportunities for them to fucking trick you.
Yeah,
That is true. There's 2 tricks that they pull on you during this, because there's a couple checkpoints. The first
Joker only
2 are
ever
real
uses
simple.
2 tricks.
Yeah.
Well, the second one is like can I give you a hint of what they possibly could do? Because
Yes.
remember when we couldn't see Owaka because the camera is positioned a certain way? They kind of do like the inverse of that, where like as the camera's panning, like you say, oh yeah, there's two guys there, and then like immediately as soon as you think that, a third guy is actually
a little bit out of frame
because like a pillar is just in the way. It was like, oh shit.
Right.
Yeah. They changed the angle of.
Yuna could clearly count, but we as like the player cannot, which is super silly.
Yeah, I liked it.
There's like there's no diegetic reason why that it should be hard for her.
Yeah, I think it's the same every time as well. So definitely save, because if you have to fight them, if you don't know the password, you do not get 100%. But yeah, the last one that they do is there's like 3 soldiers, and you talk to them, and it's like, okay, it's the odd number one, and then another soldier runs in, and he says, "Wait,
repeat it.
Repeat the answer." And then
I was like, I was frozen. It's like, wait, repeat the one I just said, or make a new password on count, like, and then a fifth person shows up.
Person shows up. Yeah,
like,
so
oh.
I was just like, you fucking assholes, just.
and the 5th person doesn't show up until like 2 seconds afterwards, like after you have the ability to like pick an answer either.
So you do technically have to repeat the password because it's even. Or it ends up being odd again. The one before that was fucking with me. It was like, because the camera angle kept changing so rapidly. Like, wait, are these the same people, or are these two other people who are out of frame that I can't see? I cannot. So I like make sure I knew exactly what. I had to look at a guide to make sure like this is even, right? This is an even number.
Yeah,
I feel like we should have like the CinemaSins ding or whatever. We need like an equivalent sound for every time that one of us is like. And if you do this, you'll lose 100%.
yeah.
So cruel.
Anyway.
Yeah, this is the thing I would like to know what it is in Japanese, because obviously carved and craven, I think
I
it is,
dropped
right?
it in the chat if
oh, sick, nice.
I don't know what the translation is, but I do have the screenshots from the choices. They all have Saru at the end of it, so it is something Saru, but I think it's just like
all
a
do
pun.
say
Specifically, actually, Alex,
the last
saw
one's not
has
Saru.
a Rendaku on it, so it's Zaru.
Yeah,
Okay.
Zaru.
Come
Saru.
on.
It looks like it says Izadu for the last.
Kinobori. What does that mean? Kinobori.
I can basically read those. Wouldn't know what it says. I can basically read them.
I asked Corey, but he has not responded.
How fucking selfish of him.
I think Kinobori, the first one, could be tree climbing. Like a tree climbing monkey. So the second one's Sugomori, which I'm seeing as stay at home.
Yes,
stay-at-home
hell
monkey.
yeah.
God, I wish that were me, honestly.
So there's Sugomori and then
Kibo.
Sumoguri. Free diving.
Saru.
Kiborino.
This is good radio, baby.
I got nothing for Kiborino. I guess it's Kibori no Zaru, like wood carving monkey. Okay.
Oh, okay, so carved monkey. Interesting.
Carved monkey, indeed. Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, it is kind of what I was thinking, where it all ends with like monkey, and it's
And I guess
similar
a
enough with
squatter. You literally said it earlier, like squatting, like is kind of like staying in a place.
And if you're looking at this just strictly as someone who doesn't who can't understand any like Japanese characters, you can kind of see repeated characters in just the prompt for it. Even if you don't know what it means, it's using a lot of the same characters throughout.
it's like a little tongue twistery thing, yeah. But,
yeah, that's what I was assuming it was.
But they're actually like kind of close now that I'm looking at it, with the exception of Craven Monkey. I'm not sure that one connects, but like the wooden, or what was it? Not wood monkey, carved monkey, like the Japanese one, kibori no, like a wood carving of a monkey. And then squatter monkey, squatting like to stay in a building. That's the one that's stay at home. So it's like, that kind of makes sense too. So they actually like kind of translate like decently there. So
That's nice.
they tried.
I was Squirter though.
Anyway, each time we do this successfully, we get a different like reward, like it's ether or a high potion.
Can I? Oh, hold on. Can I tell a joke? But like, you have to cut it out. You have to. You don't have to cut it out. And like, I'm trying to decide if it's funny or not. If none of you laugh, if none of you laugh, then I'll know that the joke wasn't funny, and actually I shouldn't have said it. But no one will know.
I'm laughing already.
Yeah. So, is it funny to say it's not really a squirter monkey? It's just pee.
It's just pee. I was thinking that too.
Okay, I got some smiles.
Audience,
That's
you
okay.
decide. So anyway, we get the Menace of the Deep garment grid. As we all know, the Menace of the Deep is Curtis, who is a fucking menace. I'm trying to see what is on the back of it, like in the background
Menace
of
of
it.
the P.
I would imagine it's like I guess I don't remember all the Aeons as well as I should. Aeons FF10. Because it looks like a Leviathan kind of thing, but I don't think there was a Leviathan Aeon.
And then we're allowed up into this little like foyer area, I suppose, like before
That's
the
where
temple.
we fought that big fiend, right? There's a boss fight here.
It is where our like third boss in the game was, or something. The big plant boss with the two arms that come out of the
Yeah,
ground.
the Ochu or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, not the Ochu. We fought Ochu in the
Yeah, it wasn't
woods.
an Ochu, but it was like it was a plant. Okay, it's a plant. It's
Ah,
fine.
yeah.
with
Yeah,
big
the one-
tentacles and stuff.
The one that captures Vivi and Garnet. Right?
Yeah, it kind of looks like that. A little bit.
It's always Final Fantasy 9.
I mean, kind
If
of.
only. If
But
only.
anyway, yeah, so we get there and there's already actually wait a minute. When we get there, there are Youth League people and New Yevon people facing off with each other, and they're in the middle of a conversation. What were the checkpoints for then?
They clearly failed.
Yeah, they just like were like, yeah, fuck it, come on through, it's fine.
You look like a hot dog. You're welcome in anytime. It's all right.
Yeah, Donna is in fact here.
I feel like, I guess Donna also kind of has summoner privilege, I guess.
Oh, maybe
So
they let her by because she was a summoner. You know what?
Yeah, they're like,
I'm gonna
yo, she was a
headcanon that.
summoner.
That's right.
I heard good things about her from that Bartello guy who's really into New Yevon, so we can trust this lady.
You know what? That's like a rational enough explanation that I'm like making that headcanon now. Like to me, that is what
I
happened.
fucking hate when I do that because I always want to call out shit like this, and then like as I think through it, I'm like, wait, no, it could actually easily make sense this way. And I hate that I'm putting that out there. I was just looking around. I'm like, you could get to this like little like this like promenade or whatever it is by just not taking those stairs.
Yeah,
through
you
the
just go up the
woods.
side. Yeah.
So like they could have just done that. Like,
We also have a plane, an airship,
yeah, we do
That's
have a
true.
plane.
That's true.
Which does come up in a second, actually, as well.
and it's a save point, which means we can beam down anytime
Yeah.
we want, right?
But
Yeah, I think we'll get to it later. I'm remembering the beam technology that I want to talk about later on.
but yeah, so we get there and there's already like an altercation going on between the I was gonna say temple staff. Is that the right thing to call them?
There's like a priest.
Yeah,
The
priests
clergy,
and some
I
guards. Yeah, clergy and New Yevonites, right? Or I'm sorry, in the Youth League. Yeah, and the New Yevonites, the priests and such, they're like, you all go home. We don't know what you want. Get out of here. And like Donna's kind of like speaking for the Youth League. And she's just like, shut up. You have the sphere. We know that you have it. Just give it to us.
One, where's the sphere? Two, give me the sphere.
Yeah, one was the sphere to give the sphere. And there's a very hilarious 1-2 punch of lines that I like quite a bit, where the priest goes, "We don't know what you're talking about. There's no sphere." And as soon as he says that, these two guys run down from the temple and go, "Hey, we found the sphere!" So that guy gets owned.
They're all running though, the guys who have the sphere, and Donna's like, "Oh, what's that?" And there's a giant mechanical monster that's just kind of chasing after them as they're running down the
it's
steps.
the same model as Defender X from Final Fantasy X.
Okay, so this is
took time to
Defender
look up earlier.
X2.
Oh shit!
He's got color palette too. Yeah.
Yeah, this guy's far more colorful than Defender X. I will say that.
I like this this growth within New Yevon, proving that they're a little different than Old Yevon, where the priest says, "I had a little something prepared for just such an occasion. Nice knowing you." And it's like they're just explicitly using Machina now to like fuck with people.
Yeah.
This is the YSLS-0, and 0 is spelled out. So I don't know what
Weird.
that stands for, but it is a magic-powered machina used by New Yevon, which again made me laugh when I read that.
Youth
Yeah.
League something 0 maybe. No wait. Yevon.
Yevon, yeah. But its superb attack and defense make it ideal for defending their most important facilities. It's a rare model of which few remain, and fewer will remain because we're gonna kick the shit out of this fucking thing.
There's probably a website somewhere where you can just have it make up an acronym.
Oh, I was gonna say www.google.com. It's probably the website that you're thinking of.
Acronym creator from letters. Sick.
Oh,
what is
geez,
it? YSLS?
YSLS0.
This is gonna be very unfunny, I can tell you.
Yeah, probably so.
Chat GPT.
Okay, what do we got? Give me. Where's the fife? Here we go. The machine has gone through over 4,000 total combinations to check. Acronyms found 0.
Yes,
Nice.
dude, we
Nice.
did it.
The technology
I'm
works.
gonna
I
break
love
into
it.
fucking Square Enix headquarters and be demanding that Nomura give us the sphere that tells us what this fucking stands for. I know you have it, Nomura. I don't know what you're
Shouldn't
talking
it be
about.
YRS? YR squirt? Instead of YRP?
YR Squirt. Yeah, how was this fight for you guys?
Okay, let's talk about how this fight was for me. Or wait, hold on. Do you want to go first? Or
I genuinely don't really remember it because I had power break and armor break, and then I just went into assault mode at one point
Okay.
and
Speaking
destroyed
of,
it.
All right, I'm sorry, jump in. What does your assault mode transformation look like?
That's a good question. I think it's just
I don't know if you saw this on the PS2 version, Alex, but when I transformed into assault mode, Pain just goes completely nude during the transformation. Like genuinely,
you mean
it's
into
just
her
a,
warrior?
No, like you're talking about her special
yeah,
sphere
full
grid,
throttle
right?
or the
Full throttle, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
oh,
there we go.
yeah, no, she does, yeah.
Because I was
I'm
like,
talking about
assault
assault
is
a different move.
Yeah,
Oh, I
assault is a
apologize,
skill that she can use.
No,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
that's fine. Yeah, the full throttle, yeah, she for sure does. It's like an Alex Mack or like Capri Sun situation where she turns like silver.
no,
She's like fully nude.
No,
but,
this
like-
is skin color.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Hold on a second, let me find it. Yeah, this is
Carl is rapidly googling.
I'm rapidly googling.
yeah, this
I'm gonna
is
go
like
ahead
this
and
caught
turn
me off
safe
guard
search
because I was not
on.
expecting it.
So I'm not a pervert.
Yeah, I mean it's probably some just like magical girl transformation stuff, as you expect.
It was the same thing that happened with like
here we go.
Vanille
I was like,
and
this
13.
This is a bit of TOS, but that's all right.
Yes, the original series. I love Star Trek.
So that is what mine looked like, and this is the one that I found for.
Oh my god, yeah, she's just fully nude.
Damn, she is just fully nude.
Yep, that's the one I believe you guys have.
I will send that to my fiance who will enjoy that.
Well,
Yeah,
Oh,
that,
yeah, yours
that
is Silver Surfer in the HD version. How about that?
Look at what they took away from us.
yeah, there's definitely people who are complaining about that.
Yeah, it just caught me off guard because I was like, you guys didn't bring it up, and I was
No,
like, oh,
that's-
maybe it's like
It's a super secret sphere, so maybe some people didn't even know that I was like missing.
That is fucking wild. Holy shit.
But that's how I did the fight. I just went into the full throttle. And
But yeah, to answer your question about assault, it's just like casting berserk and haste and all kinds of shit on everyone in the party. So it's just like a red aura appears around them, and then they start fucking
Okay.
going crazy with swords.
that's less nude. I appreciate that. Thanks.
yeah, less nude.
Less nude.
So, I once again had a black mage with me, and so for this boss, I just had Riku attacked. She did 1-2 chain, Pain attacked, hit the third chain, unicasted Firaga as the last part of the chain, and just did like thousands of damage, and then the battle was over. And I was like,
Nice,
oh,
nice.
well, I
Hell
guess
yeah.
I'll never know what he gets up to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I used a Firaga the first turn while I was waiting for Pain to change her dress spheres. And yeah, it did like 1,200 or 1,400 damage. Yeah, Firaga.
Yeah,
really
and you
just
put that shit on
putting
top
in
of a
damage.
chain? Are you kidding me?
I'm going to read the strategy from the official finalfantasy.fandom.com/wiki/YSLS-0 hashtag strategy. It can be brought down quickly by hitting it with a strong physical attack or by using armor break. It is advised to carry several healing items to keep HP above half at all times. I think it does do it like a couple moves where it'll deal like a lot of damage to you, but like if you're just going fast with your attacks, it's really not hard to take down from what I can tell.
Mm-hmm.
My fight was basically, I noticed that it is susceptible to darkness, so I just had a unit as a dancer or the whole time.
Nice.
And everyone else was just whacking at it with swords. With, armor break and
Yeah, that's
armor
sick.
and power break. Yeah, that worked.
I imagine this would probably be harder if you completed chapter 1 without doing a bunch of the extra side shit that we did.
Yeah, pro true.
Like we're probably relatively overpowered at this point, but I think it's still probably a pretty easy fight for what is technically the final boss of chapter 1.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that is true. I mean, like, I've watched speed runs that like end to this boss before, so it definitely can be challenging if you don't have the right build out.
Yeah.
It's very cute, Alex. I like it.
So Alex posted a cute blushing pain emote. But we get a little cutscene of our party dancing as they're victorious. Riku says, how do you like that? Yuna says, not bad at all. Pain says nothing and just looks cool as hell holding her sword.
Yeah.
And they're kind of doing little like dance things. And Donna sees them and just says, just what do you think you're doing? And Yuna admits that, we're sphere hunters.
Yeah, I like that, like, our entire presence here, like, has not been known to the Youth League or, like, Yevon at all at this point. We're just, like, there for no reason, and we're like, oh, by the way, teehee, this is ours.
By the way, we're sphere hunters, yeah. And
they do a cool, like,
Charlie's Angel
Super
pose,
Sentai pose or whatever.
Yeah. And Yuna's holding the guns, which is always cool, even though I never play with her using the guns.
I was going to mention
anymore.
that. So right before you actually get into the boss, like the transition of going into the boss battle, Yuna runs at the boss with her gun drawn. Are they typically not ranged weapons? Like she runs straight into them.
She's hardcore that way.
It does extra damage when you're up close. Everyone knows that.
She's unlocked the long range barrel.
yeah, that's right.
Like Vincent does. But yeah, I do like this kind of like trend where Yuna is still a little bit shy and embarrassed. Like, oh yeah, we're sphere hunters. She's kind of rocking back and forth, kind of like shyly looking at the ground sometimes.
Yeah.
Noticeably, all the new Yevon people there too are like kind of looking at her when she says this.
Yeah, nobody knows like what the fuck is happening. Like, who is this? Why'd she come out of here out of fucking nowhere and she beat this robot up? Like, what is happening right now?
I mean, they obviously know who she is, so I think
fair.
this is actually information. Like to Donna, it doesn't really mean that much, I don't think. But to new Yevon, this is new information because for a while they were thinking like, oh, we can clearly get Lady Yuna on our side.
Right.
But she's just like, oh, we're sphere hunters and we're going to take the sphere that you guys are either explicitly like you understand what you're doing or you don't, like you're protecting
I'm mean
it.
now.
We're stealing it. I'm bad
I'm mean now.
I'm mean now.
Yeah, so we yoink their sphere and take off in the Celcius.
Indeed,
yeah,
we
the
do.
Celcius comes down, blasting We Like to Party, and we make our way back up. Payne says tough luck to them.
Chapter 1 complete.
Chapter 1 complete, and we get ourselves a wristband. So we can now exit the venue and make our way back in, and we don't have to show our ID to buy beer, which is great.
We haven't developed that technology. We just use stamps over here still. So,
Oh, nice. Yeah, we still have stamps here as well.
That was quite the adventure that we just had. I think before we turn this sphere in, maybe we should go to the cabin and take a rest.
I think we should. I also need to go and use the bathroom, and if I don't use the bathroom, I will not get 100%. So I think we should take a break.
All right. Well, I will see you back here after said break.
So,
Jinx.
so we're on the Celcius.
Indeed, we are. Having done a job well done, right? Stole a sphere, an awesome sphere. As
We
a matter of
stole
fact.
from the church, and we got a fiend tail bonus.
Indeed, we did, and a trap pod if we want to
And
use that.
several
for-
trap pods,
Yeah. So.
which you can also just say, I don't need it.
Not Strunk and I, because we're on PS2.
yes. Yeah, we're missing out on all the cool stuff.
But I actually love this scene because everybody on the Celcius is like super enthused. Like everybody's like jumping around being like, did you see those bitches? They had no clue what was happening.
We
and
did
everybody's
it,
like
dude. Let's
having
go.
a good time about it.
Riku's like they totally wet their pants.
Yeah, totally wet their pants. And then like Payne says, don't forget, notoriety can be a bad thing. To which brother says, "I don't care. I want to have fun." And I was like, "Yeah, let's
Rare
go."
moment of redemption for brother.
Plus 5 points to brother. He's hoping he doesn't lose it very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yuna's kind of concerned that they overdid it, and brother's like, "Oh, overdid it. There's no such thing. The Gull Wing shall be notorious throughout Spira."
Yeah, and we get a short scene of like one of my favorite things, which is when brother and Riku conspire together. Like whenever they're like having a good time together, I love
They're on the
those
same
scenes.
page.
Yeah, when they're on the
Yeah,
same
things
page,
happen.
it's so good. Because she's like, "Nah, it's totally fine. Fuck them." And then like brother's like, "Yeah, what she said." And they both do like poses.
They're
and stuff
doing
like that. I'm
dances
like,
and poses and shit.
I love it. I love
They're
it.
starting to do the Dragon Ball Z fusion. You're like, oh, they're becoming too powerful.
I just love their like menacing energy. It's so good.
Yeah, I like how even Buddy's like, "Yeah, maybe we should try to not land ourselves in some hot water here."
Yeah.
But yeah, he comes running in and says like, if we try it, I was like, I need to go to barkeep immediately
to do that
and rest because I'm fucking terrified always. But yeah, Buddy runs in. He's like, "Hey, the sphere analysis is complete. Let's find out what's on it."
Right.
Yeah,
And we can go watch an actual movie sphere, right? And it's,
It's a full
it's an FMV.
FMV. Yeah,
It's just a regular movie sphere. It doesn't appear to have any special functions.
Yeah, if you talk to Riku before this, she says that like we'll snaggle ourselves some spheres and shaky shake our way into stardom. Forget High Summoner Yuna, you'll be Gull Wing Uni.
Yeah, so like the vibes on the Celcius are like at an all-time high, right? Everybody's having a great time. Everybody's
Except
joking
for
around with
Paige,
each
who's
other.
like, "I have a bad feeling about this."
yeah, and then we watch this fucking sphere, which immediately, like from the first second of the sphere, it is dour looking. It is like grim looking. But we see presumably Titus, right? Like
Yeah,
another
in a,
sphere
in
of
a
him.
cool new outfit.
Yeah, so this is like the sphere we're looking for, because like this whole journey has been about, we saw a sphere of him and here's a second one. So like, holy shit, here it is, the second sphere.
The outfit he's wearing makes it seem like we may have hacked into the Kingdom Hearts universe to see this.
And the thing is, like, it's not too far away from his actual outfit in Final Fantasy X. It's like
Yeah.
similar.
I did
More
say
symmetrical.
I did say yes. Sphere can't be Titus. His clothes are too symmetrical. I did have that noted down.
We're on the same page.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, we see Titus hanging out in the chamber of, I guess it's like, it feels like the vestige in when we fought Anima in 13.
Yeah. This is very Falsy looking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's standing in front of a eldritch horror, but like I don't know.
It looks like a weird figure you'd see in like Doom Eternal. Like just a big statue of like a horned, like tusked skull looking
Face
thing.
reminds me of something, and I don't know what it reminds me of.
Titan from 13.
Potentially.
Big teeth.
A little MF Doom looking in the
A
face.
little MF Doom, yeah.
But yeah, basically there's like some kind of statue or creature or something that is so large that like from any of the angles that we're like looking at it may as well be the entire like back half of this room, right? Because it's so massive. He's basically standing in front of a giant wall, and this wall is like mechanical. Is it living? It's hard to say. It's very like it reminds me a lot of some of the imagery in like Alien and shit like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Geiger-esque.
Geiger-esque,
Geiger-esque.
definitely.
This is kind of the era where that like that concept artist is really getting his hands in all the Final Fantasy stuff.
Yeah,
Between
for
this
sure,
and like
sure.
13.
But the Titus figure speaks, and we get his name here, which is a recurring Final Fantasy name, which is ? And
Titus.
yeah, says you're all I can count on to save Len.
Right. And he like,
I don't know who that is.
yeah,
You can
yeah.
only assume that Titus is on a mission to steal someone's sunshine.
Yeah, I get it. That's good. I thought it was funny. All right. Well,
Thank you. That's all I need. One's all I
I
need.
didn't get it. I'm so sorry.
The song "Steal
making
My
sure
Sunshine"
I'm not
by
in too deep.
Wait, did they have another song?
No, that's what he says before. Making
Oh, okay,
sure
yeah.
I'm
I was gonna
not
say, I was
in
like,
too
Len
deep.
only had one song, and it was "Steal My Sunshine." That's a rap rock excellence. Anyway, It goes back, and brother says some stuff in Albed that I did not
He's
look up.
freaking out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, what is that huge machina? What is going on?
Yeah. Any ideas? Shinra, I would like to point out a big plot hole here. What is Shinra's catchphrase?
I'm just a kid.
I know everything.
And life is a nightmare.
I know everything. And Buddy says, any ideas? And Shinra says, not a one. You fucking liar.
Liar. Knows
So
everything.
you knew everything, you little fucking twerp.
You're meant to ruin Final Fantasy 7 soon. Like, how do you not know that?
But as Machina go, it looks extremely dangerous. Definitely a weapon.
Yeah.
And Riku is like, Uni, it's him.
Yeah.
Referring to Tidus because he has a non-canonical name in this universe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
true.
right. Yeah.
So they kind of dance around calling him by his name for instance, all through 10 and 10 too.
I didn't even think of that, but that's a very good point. Yeah, but Yuna kind of like is either thinking to herself or just talking to herself, and she says, "Is it you, or does he just look like you?"
I do love that, like, viewing the sphere has brought the vibes down to an all new low. Going from like being very excited to everybody being like, I don't like this even a little bit. Like, this sucks.
What's funny is I didn't realize because I didn't have the translation that like brother is extremely terrified of this Machina, but at first I thought he was like jealous, like, oh no, Yuna's bold boyfriend, we need to get rid of this fucking
Yeah, we
sphere.
gotta get rid of this fucking sphere, dude.
Who's this Lena character? I gotta get rid of them.
Yeah, what does he say on the second
He says,
part?
I don't like the sphere, and before he says like what in the sphere is that Machina.
Yeah. And Yuna's kind of just still thinking to herself, and she says, and who's this Len?
Ugh.
So,
Which,
little
yeah, I mean,
jealousy
like, you
coming
know
in.
what? I
Understandable.
get it.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel her pain there.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
like,
like-
I've been like only grieving you for fucking however many
3 years.
years now, and now you're talking about someone named fucking Len?
Yeah, who is that?
It was
Yeah.
1,000 years ago. Come on.
We were on a break.
Yeah. Brother calls the gull wings. He says front and center, and we get an Albed primer from him. And
This is actually funny because I try to save because it doesn't immediately pull you into the next cutscene. But if
Yeah.
you try to leave the room, he'll get angry, like I said, front and center.
yeah.
That's really good. He also strikes a extremely glam pose.
Yeah,
He's
I
like
was gonna
full
say, it looks
JoJo.
fantastic. Hip to
Yeah.
the side, arm out. Yeah.
Disco. Yeah, this is disco, bro.
Disco brother.
We also get an Albert Primer.
Indeed, we do.
More importantly, we get the best Albert Primer, which is Albert Primer 9. So,
Oh, it's 9 in yours? It's 23 in mine, which is
Yeah,
also
Albert
pretty good
Primer
because Michael
IX.
Jordan. Nice.
I don't know. I
Where
guess
did I
maybe it's
get?
another HD change. They changed it.
Yeah, that's a weird
Oh,
change, but
It was 9 in mine as well.
weird.
Yeah,
Maybe,
not
or maybe did we get
Ding.
two? Actually, we get
100%
we get
lost.
2. Actually,
Oh, do we get
Let
2?
me see it.
we might get 2. So maybe that's
Oh,
why.
maybe so. Maybe so.
Maybe that's why we all have different ones on our screenshots.
Well, I'm going to pull up and just see if I have 9 in my inventory.
I vaguely remember there being 2 primers in this one little thing.
Anyway, it's not that important.
We got 9 now.
Yeah. So,
9 and 17. which
but he
the next
basically is
one.
like, "Hey, let's give that sphere back. I don't like having this on hand. Like, let's."
Dude, I don't even have primer 9 at all. That's insane. That's so weird.
I guess it just gives you like
I
choose.
guess
from a couple.
you're knocked out of 100%.
Yeah, maybe.
Not gonna get 100%.
Probably.
ding.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But yeah, he says that sphere is uber bad news. We have to give it back to somebody. And Buddy has the idea of like, well, because the party does
Belongs
say
in a
like,
museum.
yeah, you basically, because the party does bring up like, well, it's kind of a ridiculous thing to do. Like, it would be quite the scene to walk up and give somebody back the thing that we stole. And so Buddy's like, well, we could like donate it to him and basically be like, hey, we have this. Use this in, you know, the effort of like learning more about Sphere's history, and maybe we can like salvage our reputation a little bit this way and like donate it, right? Give it back. But yeah, and like the party is like not really all about it, you know. Like Payne's like, I don't know how that's gonna go over. Riku doesn't want to. She's like, it's ours. We stole it. Like we get
yeah,
to
we
have
want
it.
this thing. Like, I like the back and forth with Brother and Yuna, where it's like, okay, well, what are we gonna do? And Yuna's like, we're waiting for you, Mr. Leader. Like, he's always like, I am the one who's gonna decide everything. And then he's like, oh, well, I leave it up to Yuna. That is my decision. Like, you have to decide.
Like, I order that Yuta makes the decision for us, basically.
Yeah.
So she's like, that's cheating.
But so they're kind of talking about giving it back to someone. We don't really know who yet. We don't get to choose quite yet. But Yuna's kind of like, she says like, oh, this sucks. This stinks. Like, I don't like this at all. This is bad vibes. And everybody in the party is like, yeah, if only we could do something. And who says they want to blow off steam? Riku's like, yeah, I really gotta let off some steam. And Shinra comes up with the idea. He's like, yo, we should get Yuna to dance. That would be sick. Everybody would love that. And of course, like Brother, being the like sick, nasty freak that he is, he's like, ooh, yes, love this.
His exact words are, Yuna, you must dance. Our sanity depends on it.
Yeah, our sanity depends on it.
Why is this Shinra's idea? Shinra's the one who, like, why don't we ask Yuna to dance?
Yeah. You think, like, it doesn't really seem up his alley, but whatever.
Maybe him and Brother are colluding.
Yeah. Which, like, it sounds like she's, like, into it. She's like, oh, it'd be fun. Like, let's have a good time. Like, everybody's kind of into the idea that, like, oh, we'll have, like, a little concert or something.
He says, whoopee.
He does say whoopee.
I like how, Payne's like, oh, that sounds like an order. Like,
yeah,
it's like, you don't have a choice in this. But yeah, she seems like this is right up her alley as well. Like, this is a good way for her to let off some steam.
Mm-hmm.
Payne notes that I think Riku and Brother are both dancing, like, next to one another, like, prepping for Yuna to dance. And Payne says, Brother and Riku are agreeing again. Take cover.
Yeah.
Maybe you won't be able to stop dancing like back in Luca.
That's funny.
Then we hear some, like, noises, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, as we make our way to the corridor, we hear some soothing tootles throughout the steerage.
If you talk to Buddy before you go there, his text is, Brother picked up some real weirdos back on Kilika Island.
Oh, nice.
Oh, well, that actually makes sense then for what you were saying, Alex. Like, with it, you might meet Tobly and the musicians there instead.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Instead of on the Moonflow.
Yeah, which is interesting because I was thinking that when they, like, teleported away or whatever, maybe they, like, went to the Celcius, but that wouldn't really make a whole lot of sense. I still don't know why they were, like, teleporting and phasing away.
Yeah, I don't either.
They were going to Kilika to wait for us.
Because I was like, oh, this is the explanation because Brother beamed them up. But no, like, even though I didn't see them in Kilika, one of them says, Mr. Brother welcomed us aboard at Kilika Port.
Okay.
Yeah, they were just beaming to Kilika, obviously.
Yeah. Well, Brother says, just some hitchhikers I picked up. They're a colorful bunch. And I guess we go up to the cabin, and then we see, the band has, like, made home in the hallway between the cabin and the elevator with Toby zipping around.
Yeah, they're just hanging out in the hallway. Like, there's, like, literally, like, a bar and lodge right behind them.
They're not just hanging out, because Pukara, the cute, like mouse that has horns and a big old fucking saxophone, says, when Brother let us use this room, he gave us each a mop and broom.
Oh, no.
Yes, that Brother's very nice. He even let us pick his lice. So it's like he picked them up just so that they could fucking do chores and shit for him.
Ooh.
Including
what a
picking
fucking
lice
scumbag.
out of his hair.
I don't like that. Yeah, -5
They should have got
points,
monkeys
Brother.
for that. That's what they're good
Yeah.
at.
-5 points, Brother.
Weird freak.
Yeah, he's a little freak.
Klasko's still having a bad time in the like little loft area. He's like fully doubled over, and he says the same thing. Why won't the room stop shaking?
And now they got a freaking ska band in the hallway.
He's like, what are they trying to pick up? Why do they keep saying that?
This could be heaven. Maybe this is hell.
But yeah, like Eunice. What does it says? If you talk to Dar, we have to rest first, right?
Yeah, we rest.
But then we can talk to, I guess, some of the band members in the hallway, and they're like, "Let us play a song for you." And then Yuna's like, "Oh, actually, I'm singing tonight." It's like, yes, let us accompany ye. That's right, Parali. Just help us over to the exit. We're looking forward to being part of the show.
Yeah, I guess that's supposed to be like Scottish.
Yeah.
That's the big drummer guy is Scottish.
Yeah, he's
the big. He's a frog, I guess.
He's
a big
Shrek.
kind of frog. He's kind of Shreky.
He's Shrek.
He's just Shrek.
Yeah.
But then we get an interesting little mini game here.
Yeah.
So funny.
Did anyone enjoy this? Because it was not the best amount of fun.
Okay.
I thought I soft locked myself.
I was gonna say, because like I've done this many a time in the past where I thought I soft locked myself. This time it went really smooth, but it usually doesn't.
I kind of love they kind of, it feels like they took a bug and just made it into a game. Like when you kind of like try to force an NPC like into a weird spot or something in a game to keep them from going somewhere.
Let's explain what it is. So basically, barkeep blocks off one end of the hallway. The elevator door opens, and you play a little mini game where you're running Yuna around trying to push the NPCs, like the band members, into the elevator, right? And they're not like squares. They don't have square hitboxes. So as you
it's not like pushing a block in Zelda or anything. It's
right. Like
it's like imagine there's an NPC in an Elder Scrolls game that's standing in front of you, and you can kind of just inch your way forward and move them around.
Exactly.
That is literally what this is.
Yes. But as you fill up the elevator, it kind of like prevents the other band members from getting in at that exact angle on the elevator. So, like, if you put the first two in weirdly, it can feel like it's fucking impossible to get the third one.
I think what might be like the way to do it is you start and you're like towards the back of the hallway and you can immediately start pushing them. So like you're closest to like the biggest one, like the drum guy, the Shrek guy. So I started trying to just push them all at once, like just sweep it fully.
Right.
And because of that, he didn't get like, it just pushed the little mouse one out of the way. So that was the last one I had to push in, and she was like not going in at all because she was like clipped into like the corner of it. And I had to like just rustle around to get her to actually fit in. I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah. Well, I think it's really funny,
I liked this, though. I thought this was funny and cute.
I thought it was cute, yeah. And, like, what's kind of funny about it, I liked seeing this in speed runs, because, like, it doesn't take very long, but you can imagine if you're on, like, a really good pace in a speed run, like, or, like, just a couple seconds or ahead, you're like, go in the damn elevator, like, please!
But yeah, they all have kind of dialogue about how it's time for the show and stuff. Some of them speak poetically. Pugara always speaks in rhymes, which I enjoy. But yeah, then we get a cutscene of we're on top of the Celcius. It's flying around. I can't remember, what is the song that she is singing? Because
she's singing Yuna's theme.
Yeah, she's on the da 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 da.
But she's just saying la 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 over and over again. It's very cute.
It's not very good.
No, not very
LeBlanc
good.
is a much better singer.
Yeah, I actually have that here. I was like, is YRP an actual group, or is Yuna an actual singer? If so, like, did LeBlanc copy Yuna, but also like belt a tune that's better than anything they've ever made? I was like, what?
Yeah, like the actual show that real Yuna would have put on would have been dog shit. So like, good
that's
thing
why,
LeBlanc
that's why people
sang
were so
that song.
surprised. They were like, oh my god, this isn't Yuna.
La 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 la.
To some extent, like, if we ignore, like, you know, the awesome intro to this game, like, it's fine because they're all just having a good time, right? They're all just
I would
like,
give this a solid 6 set.
Riku's just kind of boogieing up there.
Riku's just boogieing. She's just having a great time. The band's playing. Who cares?
Owaka's fucking squatting. He's popping a squat.
Yeah.
He's cheeked up. Him and brother are both cheeked up now that I'm looking at it a little closer. It's crazy. They kind of got a Hank Hill-ass situation going on, but can't really, it's kind of hard
relatable.
Toby cannot fucking stand still to save his life.
Oh, I didn't even notice him.
He's zooming around.
Klasko's like looking chill as hell. It's pretty good.
Yeah, Klasko's straight up zooted. He ain't care about nothing. But after a little while, a little bit of singing, a little bit of dancing, Yuna kind of walks off by herself away from the party. She's me at any party where, like, she's like, okay, I've had just about enough of that. Need to go be by myself
too
for a
many
while.
people. I'm done.
The Celcius really needs a dog.
I was going to say, you go over to the corner and, like, hang out with the dog for a while.
They also need some fucking railings because they're just flying around with no fucking like way to
that's
not
real
fall
sketchy.
off of it.
They're just on a hood of a car, basically, that's flying over the ocean.
I think Yuna forgot that she can't just call on fucking
L4.
Yeah, Valfor
yeah.
to like.
I was absolutely going to say Quetzalcoatl because I remembered it from Final Fantasy VIII, and I was like, he could just fly
yeah.
up there. Nope.
I'm just getting flashbacks to that one Cactuar who just yeeted himself off the Fahrenheit.
Oh my god, yeah, that's right. But Yuna's just thinking to herself and like staring wistfully out off of the Celcius, and she just says, "Who's Len? Why am I so mad? Who the heck is Len?
Yeah, she says the last one out loud, right? Like,
Yeah.
she's like thinking to herself and then like talking quietly to herself, and then she like screams, "Who the heck is Len?" And like everybody
The
hears
vibes
it. Like,
immediately stop.
you may as well have had like the record scratch. Like, everybody's like, "Whoa."
Also, why? Also, did you notice that Riku is also now in her dancer outfit?
Yes, Riku
Yeah.
took over
Oh,
singing,
that's a
and she's
really
like in the
cute
songstress
detail.
outfit. I love
That's
that
very
detail.
She's taken over, yeah.
Yeah,
Everyone's
Yuna,
taking turns dancing, I guess.
Yuna does what any self-respecting person does in a party that is quickly turned to shit and sucks. It's what I do myself. I'm going to bed. I'm going to go
just
to
goes,
bed.
"I'm going to bed."
The fucking best, dude.
I really enjoy this. Past guests Heather and Nino were streaming this a long time ago, and I was like noticing that they were commenting on that, like not a lot of Mia kind of lets girls kind of have messy emotions.
Oh,
Like,
sure.
she's
sure.
obviously feeling like really kind of like jealous. There's like a really like kind of who's this girl that she's talking about.
Yeah, and like totally understandable too. Like, I definitely.
Yeah, this is
Feel
a
it
super
for her.
relatable thing. Like, how many times like have you been at a party or something like and like found out that like your crush or whatever was like seeing someone else or something, and you just immediately like, man, I'm just gonna go home. Like,
Yeah,
that was like
yeah.
me throughout all of
I'm
high
gonna
school.
find a
dude.
dog and I'm gonna sit in the corner.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
there's
that's
not
right.
even a fucking dog at this party. I gotta leave. Yeah, I was big time. I'm going to bed as a teenager. Like, that was my move.
The phrasing is very funny. I am going to go to bed.
Yeah, I love it. It's so good. I fucking love Yuna. She's the best.
Yeah, I actually really like her character in this game specifically. Like,
She gets to kind of let loose a bit.
yeah,
Open
and
up.
like obviously the game is kind of like about her anyway or whatever, but I do like the way in which they characterize her in this game. I think is very good. Like, very.
It's
well
really
written.
nice of like staying true to her character in the first one, but her trying to evolve past that and still having like the old her in her, but like breaking through that
Yeah,
shell.
yeah.
Like, we're seeing it as it happens. It's not just like, oh, she's a badass now, and she's like, I really like that, because I feel like a lot of games would do that, where they're just like, no, she's just cool as hell now, and like
Yeah,
completely
right.
different character, and it's like, no, she's still the same, but
Lord forgive me, I need to be the old me.
Yeah.
yeah,
She's the same Yuna. She just knows how to do a backflip and shoot a gun.
yeah,
and
exactly.
frankly, if I could do a backflip and shoot a gun, my life would also be improved. Like,
Yeah, and I
Wildly
said
so.
this. I said this on the season that we did on Final Fantasy X. If they let Yuna do a flip and shoot a gun in Final Fantasy X, then that shit would have went down differently. Seymour would have been taken care of immediately. Sin would not have been a problem. It would have been fine.
she would have fucking Mark Wahlberg'd him right there. Like, would not have gone down like that.
But yeah, she has a pretty pleasant dream where she's with her old boyfriend.
Oh yeah, so
And
yeah,
by
you're
pleasant,
right.
I mean fucking horrible.
Yeah, because as soon as she says she's going to bed, the scene fades out, and it fades up in presumably one of her dreams, right?
We see that big whole Eldritch Fal'Cie, I think, right? At some point.
At first, we see Yuna and Titus running through some hallways, and they're like panicking.
It looks like the fucking Firestarter video.
Yeah, like the fire
It
starter
really
video.
does.
Fucking Keith Flint's behind them with a fucking like power sander or whatever, like some bacon sparks. Anyway, no, they're like
The prodigy.
they're running. Mr. Zwanzig, our past guest, is gonna love that reference because he loves musical references. Yeah, so they're running down these hallways that look like the Bavel hallways because we can see some like tapestries and flags
right.
with the Yevon symbols on them.
Oh yeah, there are like tapestries up top. Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, they're being pursued.
they're clearly being pursued. They are in distress. Yeah.
Yeah, we get some shots of like boots on the ground, like running after them,
Right.
and they're in a panic. Yuna stumbles a little bit, and Titus like helps her back up and everything, and they look back, and we see a bunch of soldiers.
We should mention this is FF10 Yuna.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
both FF10 models as well.
This is not the Titus question mark model. This is not the new Yuna. This is like this could easily be just them pulled straight from the FF10.
right.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good
Yeah,
point.
this is like an FMV. They've actually like pre-rendered it, the whole situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, you're right. So they do end up in that room that we saw from the awesome sphere, right? The like round dais platform in front of the giant like Eldritch machine beast or whatever. I guess we do learn that it's a machina because that's what Shinra and brother say about it. So the giant.
Have we heard
beast
Machen
machina.
talk about it yet, or not? Is that later?
Okay. Yes, but we don't know that that's this necessarily.
Okay,
but you're right.
This is the
Yes,
onion
yes.
that he was tying to his belt. I see.
That's right. Yeah, we are in Shelbyville.
This is the war that was preventing them from getting.
That's right. That's right.
The good onions.
This is Shelbyville, but in the time of the dream that is happening, it's called Morganville. Yeah,
Morganville.
exactly. Anyway, so they end up in front of this giant machina, right? And those guards or those police or whoever it is chasing them kind of corner them in between it. So they're stuck in between these. It's like a military group or whatever, and the giant machina, right? And they're stuck. They have nothing to do. So they just kind of like look at each other, like Titus and
This
you
is
just
big
kind of look at each
13
other.
vibes all over. Because
Yeah,
it just feels like we're
yeah.
being chased down by like soldiers on Eden and shit like that. Like I'm expecting like what's his name, Voss, or what's his name? Whatever. the guy who blew himself up to help
Oh
us out. or
yeah,
whatever.
what was his name?
Either way.
Who's to say? Anyway, the
Yeah.
important thing is Yuna is crying, and I fucking hate seeing that because I love Yuna and I don't want her to cry.
Roche. That's what I was thinking about.
Roche.
Roche,
that's it, yeah.
that's his name.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the soldiers like take a firing position, like a firing squad style position at them, right?
They won't do it. They won't
They're
fucking
not
do
gonna
it.
fucking do it. That's the main character of the game. They would never. And yeah, you're right. Like Yuna cries. She sheds a tear. Titus just kind of like smiles at her, just kind of like, well, yeah. And the soldiers light them the fuck up. Like everybody fires, and they fucking turn Yuna and Titus into Swiss cheese.
I have a note here that just says in like all caps, they fucking die? What?
They fucking die.
They fucking killed him.
It's a really good scene too, because like after Titus and Yuna are shot and they fall to the ground, you see like both of them dying, and like you see Yuna still like somewhat alive, looking over at Titus's corpse and just crying, but she can't like move. She's like dying too. So instead of like truly crying, it's just like tears coming out of her eyes on a completely stationary face.
Yeah, it's a fucking bummer.
At least they kept it T rating, so it's gonna be bloodless. It's just them falling over.
They shot them with the kind of bullets that don't have the people bleed,
Child
but
bullets.
still
right.
kills
It's the
them
baby
nonetheless.
bullets.
Yeah,
It's the baby bullets. We mentioned this before.
Yeah, the
And
Dirge
then
of Cerberus
this-
bullets.
The scene fades out on a long shot of that giant tusked skull of the Machina, right? It just like shows that face and then fades out on that, which I thought was a really good option too, because it kind of looks like the skull is looking down on them.
Ooh.
So it's very menacing, and like for scale wise, that skull is like several humans tall. It's huge, right?
Yeah,
So
it's very large.
very
But
overbearing.
then Yuna wakes up in the bed on the Celcius, and she's still in her dancer
yes,
dress. What's the
Songstress.
job called? Songstress. She's still in her songstress dress.
which is an important point, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But yeah.
And she wakes up just saying something, and then Payne's just like, what?
Yeah, Riku and Payne are just there.
What? In the butt.
just
I
watching
had
her.
the weirdest dream, and you were there? No, wait, they weren't there.
No, they weren't.
She says, "Yeah, it must have been a dream," and Payne just immediately dismisses it. Payne being like, "I fucking hate when people talk about their dreams. It's shit's so boring. I don't care." She just says, "A dream's a dream."
To be fair, Titus technically was also a dream.
That's
fair.
true. It's true.
Now, in
Riku says, "Blame it on your new jammies."
on your new
And,
jammies.
And Yuna realizes, like, oh shit, and then we get control of Yuna again, but first we see like the aura around us changing back into her
I do love
Yeah,
standard
like an
outfit.
out of battle sphere change. It was really
I do
It's
love
really
that.
cool. I was like, what the fuck was that? I was so confused at first.
Riku brings up a good point, though, because Shinra implied that like, memories
yes
of the
yes.
sphere can kind of seep into you when you're having it equipped.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think it's to be applied that because she fell asleep in her jammies, the songstress, she has more memories of, that were carried in that garment.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Sounds dangerous, but who's to say?
In keeping with the theme of like terrible dreams and Payne hating it when people talk about their dreams, I have to tell you all about this terrible dream that I had the other night. And this is not a joke. This is not a joke. This is real. This is a real dream that I had that bothered me.
Were you wearing the outfit that you have planned for MagFest, the new one that you got that you were posting pictures of? Because if
I don't
so,
know what I was wearing in it, to be
maybe
honest.
that's the cause of the dream.
But occasionally I'll have like crazy fucking horrific dreams, but they don't bother me because I love that shit. Like if I like dream about aliens or zombies, I wake up and I'm like, that was so sick. But I had a really actually scary dream where I had a very slightly socially awkward interaction with somebody. And then when I woke up, I was like, oh God,
Too
no.
real. It's too real.
It was
That's
too
like
real.
anytime-
I had a dream where I like told somebody like, thanks you too, when they said enjoy your meal. And I like woke up in a cold sweat and I was like, oh no.
Everyone dislikes
Good.
that.
That's how
They're gonna think I was stupid.
And also with you.
That's how drinking has been in my 30s. Is everything's fine. I don't even like go out with people when I'm drinking. I usually just like drink at home with my fiance or something. And then we wake up the next day and we have the worst anxiety and we're like, oh no, I posted something on Instagram and I assume everyone hates me now, even though it was just me being like, "Ah," like, and I'm just like, everyone fucking hates me now.
Well, you just fell asleep in the wrong dress sphere. I mean, if you
Yeah, exactly.
changed
That's
out, you'd be
definitely
all right.
it. But yeah, that's a phenomenon that is apparently called hangxiety, which I'm like, yeah, like hangovers, like physical hangovers suck, but I am like ready to be like, I don't even want to fucking drink anymore because if I wake up feeling anxious like that, like I want nothing to do with it. That shit sucks.
Damn, on God, brother. Yes.
we have control of Yuna again, not dancing. Or normal garb. The band's still jamming out in the hallway.
Indeed they are.
Yeah, they're talking about how sick Yuna's dance was, which is, I mean, we talked a lot about how she sucked at singing, but everyone was there to watch her dance. So the singing was kind of a secondary thing, you know?
Right.
Give it up to the dress sphere for letting her do that.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, when we make our way back to the bridge, brother and everybody's already waiting for us. And they get right to business, right? They're like, okay, we have to give that spear back to somebody. Who are we going to give it to? And the party kind of quickly is like, well, our two options are New Yevon and the Youth League. On one hand, New Yevon is fucking Yevon, so like that's not a great idea because we don't trust Yevon. Yeah, did you play Final Fantasy X? Oh my god. And then on the other hand, though, there's the Youth League who is actively starting fights. Like Payne points out that like, yeah, they are the ones who are causing the problems right now. So like, is it right to give it back to them?
Yeah.
And this is the scene where Yuna's like, "Oh, what do you think, leader?" And brother's like, "I order you to decide." Actually, that's like happens here. And you can like walk around and talk to the different members of the Celcius and like kind of get their opinions, but all of their opinions basically end up being like, "Yeah, there is no good decision here." Like,
Yeah. You're on your own, and this will have consequences if you choose wrong.
including not being able to get 100%.
What did you pick, StronkChonkler?
I picked the Youth League because I was following 100%.
Oh, you can get 100% still.
Yes, the based choice.
Absolutely. Yeah, I have no mind of my own in this situation. I was like, well,
Wait, the 100% guy says pick Youth League?
Yes.
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, no.
Did you pick the wrong one?
I did.
No, good.
That's good though,
That's
because
good.
we
That's a good thing.
I was like, I need to look up the cutscene for when you give it to New Yevon because
Yeah.
I did not do that. But yeah, we get a couple of hotspot options that open up here. Was there anything else you guys wanted to talk about on the Celcius?
Oh, yeah, the hotspots are how we decide.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
correct. We get to go where we go to next is where we bring the sphere.
Yeah, if we bring it to the Youth League HQ, the mission is Sphere for the League. The Youth League's only just formed, and already it's known across Spira for its explosive disposition. Sure. Oh, wait, never mind. It's not sure like that. It's sure we can trust these guys with the Sphere. And if you go to Bavel at the New Yevon headquarters, it's Sphere for New Yevon. I'm not too hot about the whole New Yevon thing. The only thing I know, the only thing new about them is their name. You sure we can trust them?
Yeah. So
It's really leading us in a direction as well. It's like, well, can we really trust them?
Yeah, it's like all of it's just like, there's no clear-cut thing.
You have to be crazy to pick New Yevon.
We'll decide next episode, maybe.
Yeah, that sounds
that's kind of how I'm feeling. But
Then we'll
I'm
just
not
we'll talk about that, and
Yeah.
then we'll talk about the whole gun shit after that.
Yeah, Strong. If you wanted to speak on any of the shit that we didn't get to, feel free, and we could either like drop it in after the episode or next week and be like,
No, I
because
think
we
it's
ran
all,
out of time.
I think it's all pretty good, honestly. The
Nice.
gun game sucks. Honestly, it was not great. No,
I did not even try that yet. I was just like, this seems like it's gonna fucking suck.
You can splice that in and be like, Strong's hot take, or lukewarm take.
You know what?
The game sucks.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's honestly fine.
The requirements for 100% are not fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole like sit in the corner and just spam until you get double shot or dual shot and then just only attack the blue ones. You're like, oh my god, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Please. It's so much.
Or you can use a code breaker, which is a Game Shark for your PlayStation, and
Nice.
just get infinite volley ammo.
Okay.
I wonder if I could probably even load that in on the emulator actually and just really.
That's what I did. I can tell you how to do that.
Great, excellent. We're on the same page.
I'll send you the cheat file.
Yes, excellent. No, game's easy, guys. I don't know what you're on about. The game's fantastic.
Why is everyone always complaining about this game? Yeah.
So yeah, since we're short on time and it is also very late in the evening for you, Strong, I think we will.
It is 4 a.m.
Early in the day.
Late in the evening for me, early for Strong.
We will go into the I guess results of this decision we have made that unit has been forced to make
Right.
until next week.
So,
Does that sound good?
Sounds good to me.
sounds good to me. Yeah, so next week we will do...
The correct choice is the Youth League, though, apparently.
Yeah, the correct choice, if you want 100%, is the Youth League. But,
I made a huge mistake.
so next week we'll do the choices, the scenes that happen on the Celcius right afterwards. We'll do Besaid. And if there's time, we might move on to Kilika, but maybe it'll be somewhere in there. So if you're playing along with us, I would say go ahead and do Kilika, but we may or may not get to it next episode.
We're just going to be playing Dirge of Cerberus all next week.
Yes,
good.
finally.
Building those chain bonuses and shit.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Didn't they come out around about the same time anyway?
Like 2 years after. They had to put the get a boy game out.
Put the girl game out there. Put the boy game out.
Yeah, and boys get everything.
Strong. Thank you so much for being on the podcast. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. This has once again been just so much fun. I have so much fun doing these.
Come back anytime, as always. I'm not
Always
sure
a
when you'll
pleasure.
have time.
Always a pleasure.
I will hold you that. Coming up in the next couple of months, I might have a bit more free time, so we might be able to sort out maybe a less hectic schedule.
Sure, that'd
You
be
have
great.
anything coming up or anything going on with you? Do you want people to check out?
Not really. I've been doing a bunch of commentating for Chain Echoes speedruns. The past like 2 weeks, a couple of members of the community and I have dropped the time down considerably for the glitchless run, and it's really good. It's been like a nice world record race between a couple of us, but I haven't really been streaming it because streaming world record attempts is not, especially for like a 3-hour run, it's not the most amount of fun to do.
Understandable.
It's just like stressful.
Yeah.
It's just stressful, like trying to keep conversation and trying to remember stuff. But if you'll once again, I'll plug it. If you guys haven't checked out Chained Echoes, I super recommend it. It's a really fun game, especially for people who are fans of Final Fantasy.
Nice.
So for the times that you do stream, where would somebody go if they wanted to watch you stream?
Twitch.tv/StronkChonkler, and it's StronkChonkler on Twitter and Instagram as well.
Very good. What day is this coming out? Okay, well, either a commercial or a hilarious anecdote. This will either be a commercial or an anecdote. I know that Carl and I both have something going on next week, this week that just happened, last week, who knows?
Last night? Who knows?
Last night? It's unknown.
Right now?
But
Are you listening to this podcast on the floor at the show?
I love how people still will be like, hey, I was just re-listening to the season that you guys did on Final Fantasy VII. So every time we're just like, okay, Zaku show in 2 weeks from now at this bar in Philly. And I'm just like, when people are listening to this bar might not exist anymore.
Yep.
I'm just like, yo, I'm doing this show at Boot and Saddle. Like, come check us out.
I remember listening to like the old, I think it might have been seven show or seven series, and it was like, yeah, Mage Hand's last show, and I was like, oh, I missed that. I missed it a while ago, actually.
Yep.
Speaking of which, my band Zaku will be playing Magfest on the 18th at the Gaylord in Maryland. The one Gaylord in Maryland, in Silver Springs, Maryland, I believe, right?
It's Magfest. Just look it up.
Magfest.
It's Magfest. Just look it up.
Ask a punk.
If you're there, you already know about it. Whatever, it's fine. But we finally got announced that we're playing there. We're playing there on the 18th. That will either be next week or yesterday. So either get excited and come see us, or like look it up on YouTube. I guess either way.
Yeah.
And actually, I think you're doing something.
And in the same thing, I'm actually this might be subject to change. I actually did not see this update that happened on January 1st, but I am going to be doing a Dark Souls any % run at MagFest on Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that will also be going to YouTube, I'm sure, eventually. And you can watch that at, I think the Twitch page is Go MagFest. Let me see. Let's see. MagFest. It might just be MagFast.
I think it's just MagFast.
It's just MagFest. I think their like Twitter is Go MagFest or something. But yeah, it's like MagFest, but the speedrun proponent of it, MagFest. So you can check it out on Twitch if you're not going to be in the area, or you can check it out in person and scream stuff at me to try and mess me up.
Oh yeah.
I'll be there.
So tentative time right now. I'll be posting a schedule somewhere as well. But I think this is probably locked in. It was changed, so it's Saturday on which is the 20th of January at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hopefully there's not any cool shows at that point. And if there is, I will go even faster so I can run to the show.
I hope I'm there.
I was gonna say, are you going?
MagFest? I'm figuring it out. I have a show on. I have a gig on Friday.
That's like the worst time for it.
I know you're playing Thursday.
Our drummer is on tour and will be showing up to MagFest like an hour or two before we play. And then
that's real
has
sketchy.
a show later that night somewhere else.
Yep. I was talking to Brodan about that, who's in the band that Andreas is on tour with. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That's real sketchy.
If you knew Andreas, you'd be like, nah, that sounds about right for him. He's always in like 7 different bands doing a million different things, and he's always fucking nailing it. Like,
yep, he'll be fine. It'll be good.
He's inhuman at how good he is. That kind of shit.
Anyway, Alex.
I've got one if you want.
Okay, if you like. Yeah, go ahead.
Alex, would you like to tell us who the heck Len is?
Maybe next time. I don't know who Len is. Thank you all for listening. Thank you, Stronk, for coming on once again and making me get up at a reasonable hour.
Happy to help.
Thank you, Noriko Matsuda and Takahito Iguchi for the game music. Be sure to rate, review, subscribe wherever you're listening to us. You can follow us at EveryFNFF on the site formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky, YouTube. You can hop into Discord. You can find a link in the show notes for that. Oh crap, where'd my photo go? The Youth League password was what? Pothead Monkey? Wait. I thought the password was Podcast Monkey.
All right, goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.